All right. Here we go. What's up? What's good, wonderful people? It is I, Charles Craig Woodson. Welcome to a new edition of Constant Chat Live. This is the movie channel where I'm talking about all the movie-ish action, comedy, sci-fi, horror, and in this case, some comic book stuff, which most of us know and love here. And I got two of my guys here with me. We're about to talk about this nice little phenomenon that just happened this past weekend, known
Yes,
as
sir.
Spider-Man No Way Home. To my close right, I got one of my guys here from the gig. By day, he is one of my bosses, but good people. It helps me make it happen on the job, makes my days easy and stuff like that, and also makes it
Sure.
even more easier talking about this cool stuff like we about to talk about now. Mr. Diego Tovar, what's up, brother?
What's going on, everybody? It's an honor, like I
All
said.
right. And to my far right here is one of my longtime bros I chopped it up with before on Instagram, Transcend Chat Live.
Yes,
He
sir.
is
Yes,
making
sir.
his multi-stream debut up on here with me. Coming back on the scene,
Hey,
Mr. Dan.
appreciate it.
What's going on, bro?
Hey, it's good to be here, man. Like I said, I'm glad to do the cinema. You know, I told you I'm a big fan of the movies, so it's
Yes,
good to
sir.
be
Yes,
out here
sir.
seeing this. And I mean, it's a good movie to come out on. You know what I'm saying? This is
Yeah,
me
yes,
busting my cherry. It's a good one to do it on. It's a good one. It's good
yeah,
stuff.
that's what's up, man. So, I mean, basically just chop it up with everybody, man. I mean, when it comes to Spider-Man, this is a character that has, pretty much been a part of my childhood, along with the likes of Superman and Batman, stuff like that. And when I think of Spider-Man, especially going through stuff all over the years, he's pretty much that everyman superhero, as I call it. I mean, he's totally relatable. He's not all uppity and rich and, like in the vein of Bruce Wayne or Tony Stark. He's not this, all American symbol in the vein of, say, like a Captain America or how Superman was back in the days. He's just an average Joe type guy who has his dumb luck just like everybody else, who has his highs and lows just like everybody else. And that's why I think he gravitates so well with every person that, kind of discovers him over time. Because, like, with me, when I first came across Spider-Man growing up back in the day, it was through like the 60s and 70s animated shows. And then, like, the Saturday morning stuff that came on with like Spider-Man's Amazing Friends. And then I think
Right,
my
right, right.
bigger rendition would probably be, besides, some of the comic books here and there that I used to read over the years, was the 90s cartoon that used to come on Fox around the same time, or like a little bit right after X-Men, as a matter of fact. That was probably like my favorite rendition of Spider-Man. So, like, when it comes to good old Webhead, what comes to mind with you guys? Go first, D.
Well, like he's been a childhood superhero ever since I was a kid. I know I'm young, so I know the OG Spider-Man series that you're talking about. I think I forgot
Mhm.
where it aired on. Um, to me, I mean, like you said, he's a really like how you say it, a relatable character. We all can relate to him. We all start from the bottom and we work our way up, just like he did.
Mhm.
And I when I saw the movie, I geeked out. Like, man, it brought back so much memories.
That's what
I
it is.
I just I love the guy.
No doubt, no doubt. That's what's up.
Yeah.
What about you, Danny? What about you, bro?
Well, I'm gonna show my age right here, because
Hey,
be honest,
you think I'm right?
my exposure to well, I'm gonna just tell you, like, my exposure to Spider-Man actually was like the comic strip. You know what I'm saying? It used to be in a newspaper. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be honest, I look forward to it on Sunday because it'd be in color. But during the
Mm,
week, you know what I'm saying, you're seeing adventures and stuff like that. You're seeing Jay Jameson with the hair with the black and the white.
right.
And then on
Mhm.
Sunday you get a little color.
Yeah.
I just remember the picture of him being upside down. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just, just reading those steel screens for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I see comic books. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always look at it just like always like storyboard. So I mean, that
Right.
was my thing. And then, like you said, of course, when the cartoon became like a morning thing, I was messing with him in I think it was like 94, 95 or something like that, maybe even 96. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember the Amazing Spider-Man cartoon, but to be honest, my first foray in them, because even though I'm DC, I'm a big Superman fan. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
that's my man's. We go red and blue. But I do remember just like being seeing the newspaper like right after Garfield, Marmaduke, there was that Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? And so that was my introduction to the web slinger. But I agree with everything you guys said. Like because he was a kid too. I think that was another thing about it. You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't one of these adults out here doing these things and stuff like that. Like he's your friendly neighbor. Like sometimes during the comic strip, he'll just get a cat out of the tree. You know what I'm saying? Like that would be the big adventure. You know what I'm saying? Like that was all it was. Like they just like he, you know, it wasn't always him going and stopping something from outer space. You know what I'm saying? Like it was, you know, somebody breaking into a car or something like that. Or hey, he may even help somebody find a home or something. He was like, man, this guy's just doing good stuff off just GP. You know, it wasn't always just about being superhero and fantastic. So that's my relatability to him. But like I said, the comic strip, you know, I'm old, black and white.
And then to kind of go a little bit more back on the old school side, Spider-Man was just so relatable and tripped out. Like you even only seen him on stuff. He made a couple appearances on Sesame Street, and he even did the Electric Company, as a matter of fact. Because you remember,
that's a brand,
right? It was like live action. It was hokey and weird. I mean, it was the 70s, so they did what they had to do. And then, you know, they even did like a short-lived live action series. And,
well, but think about like who out of us hasn't did that risk game? You know what I'm saying? Like we've all done the risk thing. You know what I'm saying? Like we all wanted that. You know what I'm saying? Like not to get to the movie, but I thought that was a nice little. They did a lot of fan service in that movie, man. They did a lot of things for the fans. You know what I'm saying? Like you had to have. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't gonna say you had to be like deep into it, but like this movie was good. You know what I'm saying? But I think it also helped if you had like a couple of tempos, if you knew some of the things that they were going off of, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like who didn't? I mean, I think we all were Spidey crazy, you know what I'm saying? Spidey fans.
Oh yeah, indeed. And the thing that kind of trips me out, but amazes me also too, is how the evolution of Spider-Man really, you know, transcended to the big screen. Because like back in the day, like, you know, they did try and did some trial and error type stuff. Like I say, after that last Superman movie, they did some trial and error stuff on trying to bring like other heroes to the big screen like that. Like they tried to do a rendition of Captain America that wasn't too great. They tried Punisher with Dolph Lundgren, which was, and you know, they just tried so much stuff. And there was a rumor back in the day where this company called Canon Pictures, and for those, you know, my old school film heads out there know about Canon Pictures, it was the same people who did the American Ninja movies. They did all those Chuck Norris movies that used to come out. They did the live action Master of the Universe movie with Dolph Lundgren also. And it was rumored that they, you know, briefly had the rights to Spider-Man. But then, you know, and then when things transcended with, you know, the unfortunate bankruptcy issues that Marvel Comics was having, you know, that kind of put a halt to that. But then thanks to, you know, nice little movie that we know and love called Blade, which kind of resurfaced and reinvigorated the whole superhero comic book genre stuff on screen.
Yeah, I'm glad you say that, man. A lot of people don't acknowledge that. Like Blade, people don't remember that Marvel cut up was at the beginning of it. You know what I'm saying? Like it was you know, he everybody want to give it that Batman Begins and the Dark Knight and everything. Like, but like you said, he made superheroes relevant again, trying to put them in movies. You know what I'm saying? Because for a while it was too campy. You know what I'm saying? Like it was Christopher Reeves. You know, he had his run as Superman, but like you said, other than that, they weren't introducing other people because people, you know, it just wasn't selling. You know what I'm saying? But you know, the geeks take over the earth.
then plus post that last Batman with George Clooney and Schwarzenegger and them. That's when, you know, the superhero movie genre kind of took a deep dive. But again, once again, thanks to Blade, saved it, reinvigorated it, and courtesy of that, we got, you know, our first Spider-Man movie from Sam Raimi, best known for the Evil Dead stuff that he did back in the day and everything. And one young gentleman by the name of Tobey Maguire. So, you know, based on stuff that we grew up with that, you know, what was your thoughts about that first run of the Spider-Man movies with Tobey Maguire?
Me? Want to start with me?
Yeah, it don't matter. Yeah.
Well, like I said before, I grew up with Tobey, and like I said before, a little bit of the cartoons.
Okay.
I wasn't ever into the comics. I was just mostly into that straight,
No, I get
cartoons and the movies. So,
you.
Right.
Toby, he, I think, I mean, he made an amazing Spider-Man. Um, like I said, each actor, like Andrew and Tom and Toby, I think they gave off, like how it showed in the movie, they gave off every perspective on different types of Spider-Mans. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
Toby, for example, he was struggling with it. Skipped a little bit forward, skipped towards like his college life, and
Mhm.
him slowly evolving into an adult. Um, so I feel like we got to see that with Toby and then with Andrew, a little bit of the high school, but
Right.
also high school moving up into maturity. But unfortunately, we didn't get to see that because they killed it off with Spider-Man 3 after Spider-Man 2, and I feel like with Tom Holland, they're with Tom Holland, I feel like they're going like really careful with this character. They're
Mhm.
try to get everything from the comics. Like I didn't read the comics, but I understand what the comics had in them. I've seen like a bunch of reviews about the comics on YouTube. I've
Right.
seen people talk on them. I've heard people talk about the comics, so I know. I kind of have a perspective on what Marvel is trying to do with Tom Holland. They're trying to be very careful with the guy
Mhm.
and trying to get every nitpick detail from the comics and at least put it in the live action series. But with Toby, going back to Toby, um, I mean, words can't express. Like when I saw him in the movie, I was just, I don't know. I'm just,
It's
So
cool.
you was one of the people who started cheering when that happened, man. Like
yeah,
I
yeah.
like
No,
to
like,
be honest, like I haven't done Marvel a lot at the movie theaters. To be honest, my first foray was with Black Panther. Other than that,
mm,
I always saw Marvel at the crib. I wasn't really going out to them like that because I really wasn't. That wasn't my world. But I remember going to see Black Panther, and I'm gonna
Mhm.
keep it funky with you. Me and movie theaters got a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just something about me, especially now that my feet is getting kicked up now. We real comfortable. Like I'm gonna give
Uh,
you like 10 minutes. I'm at least doze off. But I gotta admit, Marvel's one of the few people that like keep me entertained in there. You know what I'm saying? So, but no, yeah, when that happened with Toby, yeah, when he hit the screen, there was cheers going on. It caught me off guard for a minute. I was waiting for the ushers to come start. Hey, shh, hey, what's going on?
right.
I'm like, hey, you hear these people yelling? Yeah, fucking cheering right now, man. It's like a
oh man,
sporting event up in here, man. It caught me off guard. Like I said, I wasn't used to that, man. I'm not, like I said, outside of Black Panther, Shang-Chi, I haven't seen too many movies out in the theater like that. So
yeah,
yeah,
I
there's
get you.
just knowing fans have that commitment like that. So no, I can understand your fair, because like you said, that was your introduction to Spider-Man was Tobey
yeah,
Maguire. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
yeah,
your man's. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
that'd be like us when we be seeing like Adam West somewhere. We'd be like, oh, that's really Batman. That's Batman right there. Like he's still Batman, even though like
hmm
RIP, because I think he did. I'm not sure, but
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I thought he was, yeah, but there's just that. So no, so I get that totally. I get that totally with your Toby Maguire. My fixation, well, my first experience with it, I was one of those people because, like I said, I came from other places, and what I'm
Right.
saying, I was kind of like, look at this 27-year-old trying to be in high school. You know what I'm saying? Like I was trying to knock it. You know what I'm saying? Like I was trying to really be hard on him. You know what I'm saying? Like but I gotta admit, the one thing I did like about him, and to be honest, I gotta, not to jump ahead of them, but seeing him
Mhm.
in the movies, because I wanted to go see it today, seeing him in the movie and just showing like we needed that Toby first though. You know what I'm saying? Like 'cause that was almost the comic book guy. You know what I'm saying? Like that's your friendly neighborhood. And now he's just grown into an adult, but that's just still your friendly neighborhood guy. You know what I'm saying? Like his demeanor the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Like to be honest, I got more of appreciation for the character that he played in those other movies from what he did today. Because like I said, I was looking at some of those things. Y'all remember him dancing in Number 3, and
Yeah.
some of the some of the love scenes and the other ones, you felt like it was kind of important. You're like, man, Toby,
Right.
I'm not escaping reality. You know what I'm saying? But I do
Mhm.
have to admit that I think he was the best one to bring that comic strip and comic book guy to the forefront, because his character
Right.
was, it was just that genuine guy, like we talked about before, just the relatability of just like, that's somebody I could be. Like you could be Spider-Man. Like you could at least act like him. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't act like Thor. You don't have a hammer. You can't act like Superman, but you could act like Spider-Man. Just be decent. You know. So I think that was it.
And I think too, like with Toby, he to me represents, like you were saying, the comic book aspect of Spidey, in addition to like when I mentioned earlier with the like 60s, 70s animated style cartoon of it. He recognizes like that golly gee whiz type back. I mean, Spider-Man.
Pleasantville. He was in Pleasantville. I mean, Tobey Maguire's in fucking Pleasantville. You know what I'm saying? So he has that look about him. Like he's a good guy. He's a good guy, man.
Exactly.
Nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm. And then kind of like when we fast forward from Toby, then we get to this newer rendition of Spider-Man being the Amazing Spider-Man. And this is where we get the introduction of Mr. Andrew Garfield. And this is fresh off his role from the Social Network with what's his name? Justin Timberlake and got the other kid name.
Lex Luthor. Well, can I take this? Right now? Yeah, my first note, Andrew G. Amazing. He was funny. He was a bet. I want to see him put in some dimension. If we can start going into different universes, I enjoyed everything about Andrew this time around. You know what I'm saying? Because I think his movies mistreated him, but I think the way he played it this time around, when he talked about the hurt, when he talked about being like, hey, it was when I stopped pulling punches, stuff like that.
Yep, froze up on us, bro.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But no, Andrew, I mean, I was impressed with everything he did, you know what I'm saying? Like his scene, from the time he got into the movie, you know what I'm saying? Like time he stepped on, every time he got in there, he was really acting on, I mean, like I said, I even kind of like disliked him what's the word I'm looking for? Not well, maybe it was Dennis Leary, but just the whole movie, like the amazing thing, like I love this costume. I think Andrew's costume is the best just because the spiders also got some length to them. You know what I'm saying? Like everything's kind of elongated. You know what I'm saying? Like that looks, because that's what spiders are. They're tentacle, you know what I'm saying? Their legs. So, but I think his performance in this here, you know what I'm saying? Like even when he was, kind of downgrading himself, these guys were talking about all their cool fights and he like, no, I ain't doing it. I'm still just, neighborhood guy, like bank robbers and people stealing purses and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was like, man, I'm kind of lame. And like I said, you would think it would have been kind of campy when old boy was like, no, you're amazing. You would have been like, I get it. I got that. But it didn't come across like that. It was really like he needed to hear that. He needed to hear that, man. Like, you are one of us, man. You one of these Peters. You know what I'm saying? But no, Andrew, I think him popping up and like, I didn't cheer. You know what I'm saying? When he popped up on the screen and took his mat, but like everything, his little wit, his quick comebacks and everything, like his character, I wouldn't mind seeing him as donning it again just because his energy was right. You know what I'm saying? Plus he was dealing with the whole thing like, with Gwyneth. You know what I'm saying? Like, her back crack. You know what I'm saying? Like she went down and hit that flow. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I ain't trying funny. I would have thought the same thing. I would be like, no, I can't reach you. I'm gonna shoot this web though, not realizing that the web's a bungee cord. Ain't nothing like doing what you did this time and grabbing somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like you sacrifice. Like, but I would have thought the same thing. Like, oh, I can't reach. I would have, and dealing with that. I mean, I mean, don't get me wrong. Toby did his thing too. I enjoyed Toby. Like I said, he gave me more respect for how he had to play it. It seemed like he was almost knew he was going to do this later on. It was almost like a part of me. I was in my conspiracy theory bag. I was like, man, do they know they going to be putting all this stuff together, man? Because that Toby's working real good with the Toby in my head. Like, that's how Spider-Man would be now older. You know what I'm saying? Like his demeanor, the way he's, he's not stressing about things. He's trying to stay about, hey, the time, he jumped out there and grabbed the blade, so but Andrew G, I enjoyed his performance the whole time, man. I think for him to be the lesser, because he was Spider-Man number 3. You remember? He was Spider-Man number 3 when they was naming it. You know what I'm saying? Like he even like I said, he even kowtowed to it a couple times. Like, I ain't the best out of us, but I mean, performance wise, and they even had chemistry together. I thought it was gonna be like some Hollywood type thing, trying to bring people together. Like, man, I know I saw the posters, but I'm like, I don't think, but they worked well in the scenes together. Everybody sold something. Like I said, it was a good movie, but like I said, I think you still had to have some like a lot of backstories to it to really appreciate it.
All right, cool. All right, D. So, what's your take on Mr. Garfield there?
Now, I'll be honest. When I first found out about the next, pretty much when I found out that Spider-Man was gonna get rebooted into Andrew, I was kind of disappointed because obviously, like I said, I grew up with Tobey, so I really wanted. I remember the day Spider-Man 3 came out. Like, even though looking back at it as a kid, I didn't care about Tobey Maguire dancing, the way Venom looked. Like, at that time, I was fucking geeked. I'm sorry, I swear, but I was geeked. I was geeked as hell. I remember I was in front of the ticket booth, fucking jumping up and down. Like, I'm so happy. I'm gonna see Venom, Spider-Man, like not team up, but against each other. And when I found out that Andrew was taking up the mantle for Spider-Man, I saw the movie. I didn't really see it in theaters. I waited till it came out on DVD or whatever. So I watched them there. At first, it didn't really catch my attention. And then growing up after a while, looking back at it, I did realize that Andrew was a bit of a cocky Spider-Man. Through my perspective, he was a little bit cocky. I guess as I was so used to the geek of Tobey Maguire, how he was so insecure about himself. Like, he was basically like the Spider-Man from the comics almost. And Andrew didn't really show that for me, and that really kind of killed the mood. I didn't even bother watching the second one either when it came out in theaters. But after a while, like, I want to say after I found out that Spider-Man was going to come out in Civil War, I started looking back at all the how should we call it? I basically did a whole movie series on all the Spider-Mans from Tobey Maguire to Andrew, and I kind of grew to Andrew. I'll tell you this. Andrew Garfield, I didn't really like him as a Peter Parker, but he did play a really good Spider-Man.
I like that.
His cockiness goes well with the way Spider-Man's supposed to be when he's in the suit. He's supposed to be goofy. He's supposed to, when things go bad, he makes himself how you say it, pretty much like it's really hard to explain. You're in a bad situation, you gotta pump yourself up with either goofing around or even telling jokes, like the way he jokes around with Sinister Six in the cartoons or even like that. So that's what I really liked about him. And when he popped up in the movie in No Way Home, at first I didn't realize it was Tobey. When he called the portal, people were cheering. People were cheering in the movie theater. I didn't know who the fuck he was. I thought it was actually Tobey. I didn't think it was Tobey. I thought it was Tom Holland. So I was like, why are they cheering?
I did too. I thought they were looking in on him.
Right? I was so confused. And then, like, he came up and I was like, that's Andrew Garfield. Right. I mean, I didn't cheer as much because I was a bit late, but it was Andrew. And then but overall, his performance in the movie, I think he was spot on. He was perfect.
Okay.
I feel like he was like the glue that stuck Tom Holland and Tobey together. He was a little brother. He was the one that stuck them together. He basically bonded this, all three of them together.
Right.
He was the glue. I liked his performance. Like I said, he was just the way his reaction when he found out that Tobey has organic web shooters, that really caught me. That was hilarious. Not only he didn't drop it when he was up in the tower, he brought it up again. Like, I found it hilarious. But like I said, after a while, I grew to Andrew, and I really hope they have something in the future for Andrew. Even though, I mean, I'm not entirely sure, but correct me if I'm wrong. The reason why he stopped making, they didn't make it Spider-Man 3 was because of him, right?
I don't think it was more so with him. I think it was more so with Sony.
Really?
Even though the last Amazing Spider-Man 2 did make some money, and whoever is watching, if you want to chime in on some comments, whatever, feel free to add in, by the way. But it was more so the fact of, the studio heads just was like, okay, yeah, we made money off of this, but people weren't as receptive as we thought we'd be. So, we might as well just put them to the wayside for right now.
Well, I do think it was something in that vein, but I also think it was also during that time when them Sony hacks came out too. You know what I'm saying? I think some in those emails had something to do about, and I think the conversation was about like, because that's one thing what made the Spider-Man brand what it was. They knew it was going to get X amount of money. You know what I'm saying? And they were like, wait a minute, this guy is kind of bringing down the brand. Like it was still doing numbers, but it wasn't doing like, it's the same reason why they keep making these Ghostbusters. You know what I'm saying? Because they're like, hey, this Ghostbuster property, this IP makes a certain amount. You know what I'm saying? Like until we stop hitting that threshold, at least we're gonna stop doing it, you know what I'm saying? But I think what happened with his two movies, and because like you said, I like I said, I enjoyed his role immensely. Like, and I like the point you brought up too. Like his character was out of place as like when he didn't have the suit on, that cocky, that arrogance, you know what I'm saying? Like him talking back to the teachers, him even having that energy that he had, you know what I'm saying? Like to be honest, that was kind of off. But once you put that suit on, that's the type of energy you need because
exactly.
you're fighting back, you're out here bad guys. Like it's people, there's gonna be a lot of people tell you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but for him to have that energy outside of it too, it was almost like, well, dude, you should be like a super villain almost. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because what I was gonna say, like with Garfield, and like you were saying with him outside a suit, he just seemed like this real moody, somber skateboard punk kid who was just like, sarcastic as hell because, he was either getting picked on or he didn't totally fit in with everybody as he came across them. But then when he rocked the suit and everything, he was the aspect of Spider-Man that I remember growing up by being, the jokester, giving these villains the hard time, giving them business. And that's one aspect that I truly love about Spider-Man. Because like, unlike other heroes that we know of, like, we know Tony Stark, he's sarcastic as all get out or whatever. Wolverine, he could be a bit of a smart ass from time to time. But with Spider-Man, what he does, and this is part of his, arsenal, his sarcasm, and though he throws off, the concentration of the villains that he messes with.
Disarming. Yes, disarming almost. You know what I'm saying? Like the playfulness is almost too much because these people are like, wait a minute, I've been planning to rob this bank forever, man. Now you coming over here with a joke? Like you almost throwing me off my game. You know what I'm saying? Like
if you picture in the movies, like as he jokes around, he pisses off the criminals. He pisses them off, and like typically whenever you get mad and you're trying to focus on something, you get mad, you basically mess up, you fuck up, and that's like you said, that's his like trait when he fights. Like it's pretty much like an ability.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No, I agree with that totally. Let me ask you guys this though, because I know we said no spoil. I mean, we said it's gonna be spoilers. And let's talk about this movie. Let's talk about the movie. Let's talk about the movie. Let's talk about from the get up to the get out. Like I'll tell you right now, there was a part of me when it first jumped on. I thought some of the continuity was off. You know what I'm saying? But that was me. Now I dabble in the recreational, so I forgot. I was like, man, they was in London when that thing happened, but I forgot they ended up coming back and stuff like that. So at first I was kind of off with the whole continuity and stuff like that. But what kind of got me was the whole fact that with Peter Parker, the whole paparazzi crazy thing. You know what I'm saying? Like his whole life, like it went like at that second. It didn't even take like a swell up or anything like that. Like they were at his crib. You know what I'm saying? Like how did you guys feel about that, just the way it opened up? Like how did you feel like this movie is finna? What did you think you were in for? What type of ride did you think you were in for?
You know what, to be honest, when especially how the way Far From Home ended, and then this was the beginning, because like me and Diego, when we had the gig, we were talking about infinite possibilities in regards to how this movie was going to kick off. For me, I thought it was going to kick off like some wild goose chase, like on some Enemy of the State type stuff, like with Will Smith. That's how I thought it was going to kick off. Because when they start introducing stuff, or they start announcing stuff like my man who used to be Kick-Ass, who was being announced as Kraven Hunter, I'm like, if they put him in here, and they put him in as Kraven, it's about to go down. Because for anybody who knows Kraven Hunter, this is a big time Spider-Man villain. And he's pretty much like the human version of the Predator.
Yeah.
Right.
Dude is legit gonna hunt you down and will go to the ends of Earth till he gets you as his prize.
Well, I thought they said his silhouette was out there when the sky started opening up.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like they
Yeah,
said,
well,
like there was a couple silhouettes out there of some
mhm,
of his comic book foes. But
And
right.
continue. I'm
Scorpion
sorry
too.
for cutting you
Scorpion
off.
was up there. I saw
Yeah,
Scorpion.
me too. Yep. But when it kicked off the way it did with the whole, paparazzi stuff and stuff like that, it was a little off-putting at first. But then when stuff started getting real, when like federales and authorities and stuff came up, it was like, okay, I see what they finna do here.
Right.
So it
Okay.
was,
Let's,
yeah, right.
I don't mean to go, y'all. Let's talk about the biggest thing. Like that was my first thing. Murdoch, man.
Oh my
That right
god.
there, man. That right there, mate. That was the first
Sheesh.
thing that made me like, hey, we in
Yeah,
something different right now. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like when he sat at the table, I was like, wait a minute, that's Daredevil. That's Daredevil.
right.
I mean, I don't know a lot about shit, but I know some shit. You know what I'm
Now,
saying? Like, so
y'all
that's what
talking
got.
about right. And I was gonna say when y'all talking about Andrew and Toby popped up on screen, how people cheering when Murdoch appeared, I was like, yeah.
Right. Right. That got a reaction out of me. Yeah.
Right. This is stuff that everybody's been wanting because it's like, especially with how things ended between how Endgame was and say like series like Loki, how they talk
Yeah.
about these were all the seeds for this whole multiverse thing that's about to happen right now. And
Well,
with that, no, I was just
no,
gonna
no,
say,
no. I'm sorry, cut you off. I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry.
no, that's cool. It's just, especially with the whole, iteration of Disney Plus and then, getting properties back like they're doing. This is like, okay, people want Daredevil back. People want Kingpin back. People want all these Netflix characters that we introduced to them back. We're going to bring them back. We're going to bring them back home to where they belong. We're going to put them where we see them fit. And with this whole little crisis that Peter is going through, who better than to bring to help kick things off than Matt Murdock? Daredevil.
Yeah. That's what got me. That's got me. I thought that was the beginning thing when I was like, man, weird. This saying something different. Plus with the I don't know if you guys are Hawkeye fans. But I'm checking it out, and then I was like, man, we just had the other reveal on there too. That's why I was like, man, this is shit. I can't wait till Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? Like they got Marvel, man. They know what they're cooking, man. They know what they're cooking. Because I'm like, man, I can't wait till Wednesday now. What is going to happen? You know what I'm saying? Like this is but that was me. But what about for you? How did the start of the movie start out for you? How were you feeling going into that?
Well, going back to the crowd thing, I kind of didn't expect that because I mean, I like vividly remember what happened in the last movie, which is what was it called? I guess. Oh, Far From Home. There we
No
go.
Way Home.
Yeah, Far From Home.
So
Far From Home.
I kind of forgot what happened towards the end, but I know for a fact that it left off on him to the announcement of J. Jonah Jameson announcing him that he's Peter Parker, Spider-Man. I kind of did expect the crowd thing. The Matt Murdock thing, like that, really like in my movie theater, everybody geeked out. Like it's on Matt Murdock. It was everybody. It was everybody.
Right. Nice.
So I was that kind of gave me like the chills because like that means that everybody here is like real like hardcore like Marvel fans and they watch every series even if it doesn't tie in with the current MCU. And that really like gave me the chills. But I kind of thought that they were gonna at least give some. I mean, I know it'll be a little bit too much because I noticed that Marvel is trying to slowly plan out the way the MCU is going right now. Like they're taking like really careful steps, especially with the shows. They're not trying to reveal too much because if we do, then obviously that kills the whole how you say it,
The
suspense.
magic. Yeah.
And so like I'll tell you this, I was anxious I was so anxious. Like days are going by fast when this movie was releasing. Like I was ready to see this movie. But I was really hoping to see Matt Murdock at least in the suit, like lecturing Spider-Man in his suit. That would have been really nice to see. Like I don't know, like a scene if he was on top of the school rooftop, just contemplating what's going on, and then you see Matt Murdock in his Daredevil suit, like giving him some type of lecture. I was low key expecting that, but him seeing him talking to Aunt May and Happy and him in his house, giving him pretty much helping him out with this whole legal issues was enough for me. And what really like put the cherry on top, his reaction time to that brick that got thrown in his house. That I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah,
oh, we got some taste of his
yeah,
abilities. We got some
yeah.
taste of that, and like that was a cherry on top. I was like, you know what? Okay, that's cool. As long as you put some sort of Daredevil ability there, I'm fine with it. I was
Yeah.
fine with that. It was awesome seeing both of them. Not only Murdoch, but both of them using their senses to catch that brick. If you pay attention,
Yes,
Tom
I
was
was going
like
to agree
he
with
was
that.
like this,
Yeah,
grabbing
yeah,
it.
he was
So
he
it
was
was
1 second off of it.
yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right. He
And
just
he was
like
like,
let.
just a good lawyer. Like that was really awesome.
I'm a good lawyer. Right.
I really hope. I mean, I've heard on social media that Charlie Cox is gonna stay as Daredevil.
for
He's
sure.
committed to the role.
Nice.
I'm curious on how they're gonna. I know I'm going a little bit too far into this, but I'm curious on how they're gonna put. I'm not sure if you noticed in the Netflix series, they kind of put the realism of his fighting styles. In the MCU, when if you see Black Widow fight or even Hawkeye, they're not out of breath. They're just pulling like punching
Yeah,
people
that's a good point.
constantly,
You
doing
got a good
flips.
point.
And Daredevil over here, like it's realistic. Like when he's fighting, he's exhausted. He's exhausted. He's beat up. He's ready to like just hit his bed and knock the fuck out. But that's what I want to see. I want to see how the MCU is going to incorporate that. Either are they going to stick to his original fighting moves, to him being worn out, as he fights, or are they going to have him, I don't know, like just fight the way Black Widow does in Hawkeye.
Okay, now let me ask you this though, because we were watching the Hawkeye series. Now that you said that, it made me realize like it seemed like they kind of putting the emphasis on when Hawkeye be like tired now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they kind of put the realism like he's just human. He's just a human guy.
Mhm.
Like we're not watching the Thors and the Captain Americas. Like you're seeing Hawkeye. Like. And I try to funny. I think they had little breadcrumbs in the movie. Sometimes when Hawkeye be on the ground, he'd be like, "Get up, let's go." You know what I'm saying? Like doing this just to get itself going. Like so, but like you said, I do admit like that Daredevil on that Netflix series, it was a lot more gritty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it was a lot
I mean,
more like you said. I enjoyed it. Like I said, when I saw Murdoch, I know I was like, that's that dude from. Okay, like I said, I was like you. I'm like, man, what? I didn't know what to expect with the show, but like you said, I did like that whole just showing the brick coming through and like showing they both like I'm on it too. Like I got something over here, and I even got there before you did. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm. So I was a big like I said. I thought that was one of the first moments when I was like, okay, this movie is going. It's finna plant some seeds, or it's at least it's gonna be
yeah.
entertaining. I'm not going to sleep, even though my feet are up. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not going to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Not at all.
Yeah.
No, I get you. Now, what's you all's take about Stephen Strange and his overall involvement in this? Because, like, for me, it was cool to see him do the things that he does, and that's what he's best known for. But I kind of feel like he's almost like another surrogate father figure type, a la how Tony was from the previous movies and what have you. And it's like he's telling Peter, it's like, okay, man, I'm gonna help you out with this, but I just want to let you know may not like what you're gonna deal with afterwards. It's like he constantly is telling him, it's like, okay, I don't mind helping you out, but don't ask me to do something you're not gonna be ready for. You know what I mean? And of course, as the movie progressed, we've seen what he's done. And even when him and Peter kind of went at odds with each other, it was always interesting to see, especially with the whole like Inceptionist type playground that he made up as he's trying to chase Spider-Man to get back,
Yeah.
where his spells are that he needs to, change stuff back.
Well, I'll tell you right now. First of all, that's on my list of things I'm tired of.
Okay.
I don't need to see no more the mirror thing. The mirror thing. I mean, I get it. You know what I'm saying, but it be losing me. You know what I'm saying? Like I get lost in it. I'm like, man, this is confusing as hell. What the, you know what I'm saying? So that mirror thing is, and to be honest, I felt like Doctor Strange was off like the whole movie. To be honest, I like you say, even if he was in that paternal father figure type thing, like I at least like Tony, because Tony just be like, that's a stupid idea. We're not doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow, like you said, my man on the other hand, Doctor Strange is more so like, are you sure you can handle the ramifications of the action that you're going to do? Because I'm going to allow you to. He's like, hold on, man. Like, should I not do it? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's talk about it. Because I thought it was interesting when him and Strange had that little quick moment when they did the first spell, and he was like 6 times, and he's like, no, I only said 5. And he's like, wait a minute, Strange be on this shit. Like, wait, Strange is counting itself. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Strange didn't want to forget that motherfucker either. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry for cursing, whatever. But I caught myself with his always cursing out there. So but no. So I think, like I said, I didn't really catch Strange because then he went from the Sir to Steve. I mean, to like just find your role, man. Like like I said, I just thought like his actions wasn't like the Strange that we knew. It was almost kind of like you say, he doesn't even know what part he plays in that young man's life now because he knows Tony's gone, you know. Right. But I felt like I got Doctor Strange. I got like 3 question marks behind it because like every time he's on screen, like even his clothes were kind of crazy. I was kind of like, wait a minute, he just what wearing a hoodie with a robe and a cape, and I'm like, man, you fix that ceiling, man. Hulk been gone, man. That happened a long time ago, man. Like y'all gotta. My man out there, Mr. Wu out there doing them stage fights. Like somebody got some money, man. So yeah, but no, I was kind of off by Doctor Strange. I almost felt like he was what's the word? I don't want to say they were trying to squeeze him into something, but like when they made him go away for that long time, I was cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I really didn't miss the wizard as they were calling him. You know what I'm saying? Like it was almost, you know, like you said, you see he laughing like it was almost like he could have been there, but I don't know if we needed his presence all the way because he was kind of because him and even Spider-Man fighting. Like, wait a minute, Joe, that's not a fight. You know what I'm saying? Like you're a Sorcerer Supreme type. Like you could really get that box back if you wanted. You know what I'm saying? Like the only cool part was when the Spidey senses took over, even when he was outside the body, and he was like, "No, you still can't get this shit." You know what I'm saying? Like I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, man, I was like, wait a minute, that's pretty cool right there. Because even his body's still like, we're not really attached to the soul. Like we got the body. Like we're living here like coexisting, and we're still making sure you don't get that. So, but like I said, I thought something was awful strange from the whole. And I know, did you guys see his preview before the show? They didn't have it for mine. But did anybody see? I say they said they had a preview for Strange. I didn't see it.
Post-credit. It was one of the post-credit scenes.
Oh yeah, I didn't stay for that because I don't like they're trying to program us, man. I'm not even gonna get into that whole conversation. Like, man, I'm just not gonna sit here and just look at these lines because pretty soon you're gonna be having subliminal messages coming through there. When I leave the theater, I'm gonna want to do some shit I ain't think I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? like, come on, man. That black rag. I mean, it's just too much going on. Plus, they doing that shit on purpose. Man, just give me the rest of this movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop making me wait 25 minutes.
What about you on Strange, D?
Strange. Well, okay. So pretty much, so I'm not sure if I told you, Chance, but I look into theories. I go on YouTube. I look into so many theories, people's perspectives on things about the trailers, even like teasers, like even as much as teasers. I look at people's theories, and it's fun because with their theories, I come up with my own, and it's really fun. So when I first saw the teaser or even the trailer for Spider-Man, I didn't think that was a real Doctor Strange. I seriously thought because the What If series came up way before the first trailer came up, so.
Yes.
I didn't really see the What If episode for Doctor Strange, but I did see some, like I said, theories on it and some clips on YouTube on it. And pretty much people are saying that that's not the same Doctor Strange. But when I saw the movie, I forgot to mention this, but the reason why people are saying he's not the real Doctor Strange is one because he does that spell for Peter. And I don't think the old Doctor Strange would approve of that. Two, he didn't have his scars on his finger on his hands, and that's one thing. It was just 2 actually. But if you pay attention towards the end of pretty much the final act, as he's up in the Statue of Liberty, if you pay attention, it's kind of like a really short clip. His hand is literally right in front of the camera, and he's trying to stop something. He's basically picking up the spells, right? So if you pay attention, you'll see a scar on his hand. So after I saw that, I was like, okay, that has to be the real Doctor Strange because he has a scar on his hand, and he had scars on his hand way before his origin story. But either way, even if it's not Doctor Strange, or even if it is, I feel like Doctor Strange is basically taking up the mantle for not like as Tony Stark, but his how you say, like a guardian, almost as a guardian for Tom Holland Spider-Man. Um, but everybody has his different their different ways of how you say it how do you say it taking care of people or children, whatever. I
Mm.
feel like Doctor Strange is giving him tough love type advice.
Yeah, I
like
agree with that.
like like you said about the whole, like, you got to think about the causes of the spell, think about it first before I do it. I kind of think, like, you sure you want this? You're grown, you're going into college, like, you want this, so I'm giving it to you, but at the same time I will, be there to support you. You know what I'm saying? So I genuinely feel like Doctor Strange is giving him like a tough love type relationship, because I'm not trying to go too far into the movie, but in the end, when, spoiler alert, when
Let's
he
wait.
he when he says they're coming through,
Spoiler
and
alert.
he can't stop them, Tom Holland pretty much says, "Do the spell, make everybody forget who I am." And if you pay attention, I mean, from what I saw, his Doctor Strange's emotions, they were like he didn't want to. He
No,
didn't want to
No, yeah,
forget
I agree. Yeah, I
like
agree with
Tom
that.
Holland, like he didn't. But I guess at some ways, Doctor Strange kind of saw that he was maturing up, and he was gonna deal with the consequences. So that's why he agreed to do it.
hmm
So yeah, so like overall, I feel like he's like a tough love type dad. Like Tony Stark was more of a looking over guardian. Like he was really strict, like really strict on him. Like, no, you can't do this, can't do that. And I feel like he's evolved from that. He evolved from Tony to now Doctor Strange. They saved the universe together. They basically fought
Yep.
Thanos together. They blipped together. They fought
Right.
in the end, an Endgame together. So they have a real strong connection. Um, so aside from that, he was a bit sketchy. Like I said, he did look a bit sketchy. But
He still looked sketchy though.
yeah,
He said,
yeah, he
it was
did.
something off. It was something
Yeah,
off about him, man. I don't know if
yeah.
his beard or his wig was wrong or something. I don't know, but it was something off about Strange. It was something. Yeah,
hmm
it was something
What
off with him.
really, what really, I'm sorry, but what really canceled this whole, him might not being, I mean, him might being a different Doctor Strange, was the fact that if you saw, I mean, Danny, I don't think you saw the post credit scene, right? With pretty much the Multiverse of Madness trailer. You didn't see
Mm-mm.
that one, right? No.
Mm-mm.
Okay,
No,
so
no, I
pretty
didn't
much
check it out.
it was a trailer for the next movie of Doctor Strange, and actually, I'm not gonna spoil it for you because you gotta see yourself. So I
All
forgot.
right, I appreciate it. Appreciate it. But no, I mean,
you
you could. I mean, if you got a
No,
point, I
no,
mean,
no.
it's
You
cool. I
gotta
mean,
see it for
because
yourself so you
I
geek out.
mean,
It's
I
gonna
just
be
yeah.
it's gonna be awesome.
But no,
Yeah.
I just
Aside
like I
from
said,
that,
I
oh yeah. Overall, I feel like I said, he's a tough relationship type dad. Just you
hmm
know deal with
yeah.
the consequences.
But so the main highlight of this all, and of course, this is the thing that keeps Spider-Man going and keeps him on his toes in more ways than one. The infamous and iconic villains that appear up in this.
Good, yeah.
And the
Mm.
beautiful thing about this is you're getting villains from every universe. We got the icons like Green Goblin, Doc Ock. You got your other pseudo villains like Electro, Sandman. You got the lizard thrown up in this piece. So, like, what's you guys' thoughts and feelings about what villains did you like the most, and what villains do you think was just kind of a waste?
Yeah,
That's a nice way of putting it, huh? Chelsea?
yeah.
It's
I
kind of
mean,
a waste.
I'll I'll go first. My main top, like, overall, Green Goblin, hands
Good.
down, Green Goblin. William Dafoe is a
Yeah.
fucking beast. He is a beast for, I don't know how old he is, like
He's
67,
67. Yep.
67 years old. And from what I heard after the movie, he was doing his own stunts.
I heard
Oh yeah.
that too.
So I
I heard
was
that
like,
too.
God damn. Um, I posted this on my Snapchat. It was pretty much the very first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie, the final act where they're fighting hand to hand. That was brutal. I love it.
Oh
That's
yeah.
my favorite scene in the whole movie. Green Goblin beating Spider-Man's ass. Like, I'm sorry, but he was a fucking badass, dude. And then I posted on my Snapchat and I was like, dude, if I see this in No Way Home, if I see William Dafoe's Green Goblin fight like this in this movie, I would cry because it was awesome. And we did see it, some sort of it
Yeah, yeah, he did.
in
He did get his
in the
fight on.
hotel scene. I was like, what the hell, bro? This guy
Willem,
was going
Willem Daf-
off.
yeah, I was gonna say Willem Dafoe put Tom Holland through a WWE match.
Yeah, he
One
really
point,
did.
power bomb.
He really did.
There was another point he just grabbed him and gave him a spine buster and put him through 5-6 floors. I'm like,
Yeah,
what are you doing?
dude, like that from that point on, he was the GOAT, the fucking GOAT. Like, and what really got to me was when Tom Holland was pretty much on his shoulders and constantly hitting Green Goblin. He was just there
He's
laughing.
laughing. You're
Like, he
right.
was
Yeah,
laughing,
yeah, that was
dude,
nuts.
this
Yeah,
guy's a
nuts.
beast, man. And
Yeah,
like,
that's nuts.
and towards the end when he whipped out the blade, his wrist blade kind of gave off some Harry Osborn vibes going on right there. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that was awesome. But overall, Willem Dafoe, he's been my favorite superhero, like not superhero, super villain since I was a kid. I had the action figures. I had the Toy Maguire and the Willem Dafoe action figure as a kid. So it was awesome. It was awesome. What's his name? Doc Ock. I forgot that his name. But yeah, I mean, he was awesome. He was my second favorite in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man 2. I feel like they didn't really give him as much screen, not screen time. They gave him enough screen time, but fighting,
Yeah,
I was kind of disappointed. I kind of wanted to see more. I feel like they fixed him like too fast.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, it was a quick fix.
But overall, his acting as Doc Ock, and when he got fixed, he was awesome. Like he went back to his normal self, and he was talking like he used to talk before the arms took over, which is really like it brought back like really good memories. And then Jamie Foxx as Electro, he was awesome too. I feel like he was like the second main villain because he got a lot of screen time, a lot. And then who else we got? The Lizard, he was okay. I feel like he didn't fight as much as either.
Right? Yeah. I didn't think he really.
Sandman, he was really good. I like what they did with the whole when he wasn't morphing into a big block of sand, like when he was his normal, like not his normal self, but a human figure. He was all sand, which kind of like throw back to the cartoons almost, and even sometimes the comics, which is really nice.
It did look like that card. Yeah, it did. That's
And then that was it, right? Yeah, that's pretty much it. But
yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Green Goblin, my top.
What about you, Danny?
Yeah, well, I got a co-sign on D there because I think William Dafoe fucking ran with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I even like the part when he broke the mask. You know what I'm saying? Because from that point on, it was just his face. And that was just him contorting his face and hearing his voice. But I do have to commend you too on bringing up because I thought that fight scene, like while I was watching that, a part of me in my head was thinking like, hey, you know what? Yeah, our Spider-Man has the Avengers and he got all this going on in his world, but this is what they got to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I don't even think Spider-Man was ready for that type of, that type of fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of get back. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like you said, for him to be laughing and smiling, like that's what he wanted. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though they didn't have those crazy adventures, because there was a part of me that didn't like the fact when I think the young kid asked Andrew and Toby, like, hey, what's the wildest thing you ever fought? I thought they could have just used some canon, brought some source material. Maybe they could have, went back to some of the comics or something. Even brought up some of the people we brought up earlier. You know what I'm saying? Some Scorpion in them, but they were still kind of like, nah, if it didn't happen in the movies, you didn't see it. But I gotta admit, like William Dafoe being like because he was the alpha. He was the alpha of the villains. I'm gonna tell you right now with Electro, I hate to say it, he was there for comic relief. It was just Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was just Jamie Foxx, Jamie Foxx was just playing himself. You know what I'm saying? Like last time he had a comb over and everything. This time he because there was a couple lines.
Like bam, here I am, y'all.
Yeah. There was a couple lines he had that were just I think him and I can't remember who else it was he was talking to, and they was talking about how they fell into something. He's like, yeah, you got to be more careful. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Like, because it's just a trope in, yeah, it's a trope in comics anyway that people
Right.
always fall into something. You know, Joker fell into something, but it's funny how once they both said how they started, he was like, well, you got to be more careful. Like, duh. Like, but that was this kind of comic he was bringing in. I didn't I didn't think they used him enough. I didn't think they used him but like you said, you only got so much movie. You know what I'm saying? Like you only can give so many people a bite of the apple. But I thought him, and I even thought, like you said, too, the lizard. The lizard, besides the one time when he came out the truck and was like, I told you there's gonna be consequences.
Yeah.
After that, it was like, all right, now I'm fighting you at the end. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's your motives? You know what I'm saying? Like you stayed in the truck the whole time. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, I was even surprised the Sandman picked the side because at first he was just like, hey, whatever we got to do to get back to the crib, now I'm fighting you because. So, I mean, that kind of caught me. Like I said, I think the first two villains got flushed out real well. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Ock, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't even notice they did the thing from the Scorsese movie when they young the people. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they've done it also in Marvel too. But you know what I'm saying? Like Doc Ock, when he's on the bridge, they younged him out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like they did show a younger,
Right.
and I didn't even notice it at first. I was like, his hair's a little darker, but I mean, I still rolled with it. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't until after I was like, wait a minute, that nigga, he's supposed to be older than that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I like Doc Ock because at the beginning he was so, but his turn, like you brought up too, all that turns was so fast. You know what I'm saying? Like Doc Ock was like, hey, I'm totally against this. I'm totally hey, we're the same team now. You're like, wait a minute, man. You were so Billy Badass there, like you said, even with the Goblin, like Goblin was throwing you through floors and it was just over. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know they got to wrap it up and stuff like that, but it was almost like they had so many characters that they couldn't give everybody enough room to breathe. You know what I'm saying? Like it was almost like you're if anything, you're like, I would like to see this expanded. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not trying to say you have to do it into like a Marvel type thing, but now with you rebooting everything when nobody knows who this kid is, or like I would like for his villains to get a little bit more time to grow. You know what I'm saying? Like I know we talked about him fucking with Daredevil. Maybe later on now that he's this new guy and he still knows that Daredevil caught that brick. You know what I'm saying? Daredevil doesn't know it, but he still has all his knowledge about people. So it'll be entertaining to see where he goes with it. But I liked all the villains, but like I said, I just think like a lot of them didn't get enough shine. You know what I'm saying? And I hate to say it with Jamie. Like I just think Jamie and his lines were funny though. I laughed out loud a couple times in theater. I was like, oh, let me shut up. But yeah, he was dropping some funny lines. But I'm like, that's just Jamie Foxx out there. I was seeing. And he just so happened to have some electricity on him. You know what I'm saying? But no, I enjoyed the villains. I mean, I didn't know much about the Sinister Six. I am a novice. You know what I'm saying? Like I get all my knowledge about it from now YouTube has taught me a lot about comics. You know what I'm saying? From the Comics Explained and knowing stuff like that. But just getting just getting my feet wet and seeing it, like I was happy to see all those villains, but at the same time I was kind of like, man, now I feel like you just gave me like a little bite of the apple. You know what I'm saying? Like I would like to see like, I'm pretty sure the Sandman, like all these people almost died. Well, a couple of them did die. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's even going to happen now that they're going back and they're quote unquote fixed? Is their death still going to happen? Oh, I see you over there. I see you. I see you got one. You got one.
What's funny about this? I literally just saw a video on YouTube of I'm not sure if you heard the channel Rockstars. No.
Yeah, New Rockstar. Yeah, New Rockstar.
Yeah,
I messed with him. Yeah.
I literally saw a video right like hours before this live stream happened, and pretty much he was describing about these like the villains and how they got fixed and how they're going back to their own realities, and pretty much it ties in with the whole Loki series on how after they killed is it Kane? Is it right? It's Kane.
Kane.
Yeah, Kane. After they killed him, obviously the multiverse, like the branches started expanding. So pretty much.
So they're variances now. Yeah, they're all going to be variances of themselves.
So pretty much, I'm guessing. I want to say that this movie happened at the same time that Loki happened, since it only makes sense since the branch got expanded, right? Or unless like Loki or her Loki. I forgot her name. I forgot her name. But
Female Loki, right?
um,
No, I
when
think
she
you're right
killed
though. I
him,
think this is making those branch. These are the
yeah,
branches that are
yeah,
happening that he was
like
talking about. Like, hey, here's the crazy stuff going on. Yeah, that's
every
5 variants right there. Yeah.
every universe made its own variant without even knowing that Kang was dead. You get what I'm saying? So pretty much this happened after Kang was killed, and like I said, after Tom Holland and Toby and Andrew fixed them, they went back to their own universes, but it it's different for them obviously because they're fixed.
Right.
I think the only one that pretty much that's normal would be the Lizard since he already got he didn't really die. He got cured, and
Turn back.
Sandman too. Oh, actually no, Sandman he got fixed, so it could be different for him as well.
Right.
But
Yeah.
pretty much to sum it up, them getting fixed created branches, and who knows what this whole thing. I mean, hopefully we get to see more of Alfred Molina as Doc Ock. Hopefully, I know they're all getting old, but in the future, it won't hurt for a little cameo.
Yeah.
But
Like you said, just a fan service. I'll
yeah,
take it.
but
And the
that
pure
might happen.
the
Yeah.
pure irony about that statement though is that Willem Dafoe specifically said, "If I come back, I don't want to do no cameo. I don't want to do no walkthrough. I want to actually do this. I want to do my own scenes, my fight
Oh, he
scenes."
did it.
And he brought the business. He brought
Ah,
the
Oh yeah,
business.
he did it.
my
Yeah.
God,
Hey, that was the
dude.
MVP of the movie. I mean, that guy
Yeah,
right there. Yeah, Defoe. Because his whole turn, you know what I'm saying? Like, even when he acted like the cowardly guy, you know what I'm saying? And he
Yeah.
went by May's spot, like even that character, I was kind of even like, man, I'm feeling sorry for this dude, man. There's also another part of me, like, wait a minute, when is that
When
that
the other
voice in the
side,
back of his head going, tap him on his shoulder? Because for a minute, I was even like, man, this guy, he's coming to reality. Everybody's dead. Like this is a whole. He looked shook for real. But no, I
yeah,
like I said, no, I think Defoe really like you said, he acted in that movie. He showed all his chops. But like I said, I think everybody did. Like you even said, like I think we need to even like I know you got the Toby love, but I think what Toby did was like I said before, his character. Like I think did nobody phone it in? Like I thought it was gonna be a lot of phone in stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought a lot of these people were gonna be like, let me get this check about you. We doing this during this pandemic too, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like really, because even the Andrew kid, from what I understood, he kept denying it the whole time, like he
yeah.
wasn't even in the movie.
He was
He
really
kept
good at
saying
that
like,
too.
no, I didn't. He's like, no, but he's like, hey, that's why I'm an actor. Like, hey, that's why you're an actor, buddy. You, that's why you have your job in life because you had us. But yeah, from what I understand, a lot of people, he went on there promoting other stuff, and they were like, "Hey, he's like, I was never on the set with them." And so no, but like I said, I don't think anybody phoned it in, And I even think before I don't know how much time we got, but I think we also got to give some love to Ned and MJ because they fleshed those characters out a lot more too. You know what I'm saying? Like MJ went from just having quick whips, you know what I'm saying? Like she said a little something salty here and there, but she got a little bit more developed out. Like her job sucks. You know what I'm saying? Like her rationale is like, hey, be disappointed and you'll never be disappointed. You're like, man, that's heavy. You know what I'm saying? Like that, like I said, they gave her some legs to grow. And then, Ned, like his grandma said, he magic. You know what I'm saying? Like he had the cake, you know what I'm saying? Like he got the ring, you know what I'm saying? Like he figured that out, you know what I'm saying? Right. So I don't want to get like I said, I think he got like I think they did give those guys enough time to grow too with this third movie. You know what I'm saying? Like they went from side characters to, like you said, I was voting for Ned. You know what I'm saying? Like I like maybe he'd get back with the reporter. You know what I'm saying? Now his confidence would be back. She on TV like, baby, I'm magic. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I may have a cape on pretty soon. You saw that cape came and got him, and he they don't show nothing in movies just for the heck of it. You know what I'm saying? They always foreshadow. You know what I'm saying? Like everything they put on the screen is there for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like when those two are kissing on the roof in the book they got his head on says chemistry. You're like, oh, you guys are doing stuff like that. Like, it's nothing wasted. So I think Ned and MJ, I think they get some points. And like I said, because I wasn't even the biggest fan of her. I thought I don't know. I just kind of feel like sometimes in these superhero movies, the women kind of get like one or two dimensional. You know what I'm saying? Like they really don't get a chance. So I did like the fact that, especially in these Spider-Man movies, you know what I'm saying? You're either a damsel in distress or you don't need nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like it's never a medium between that. But I want to give them a shout out for real. I want to get it. Did anything? Let me ask you guys. Did any characters kind of catch you guys off, like Flash with his blonde hair, or was there anything in the movie that?
Yeah, I'm like, what's up with the blonde hair, dude? I know it was for some kind of comic relief, but I'm like, it's kind of a little off-putting. But then his character was already off-putting anyway because he's like, the smart-ass anti-hero to Peter Parker. But then when Spider-Man came around, he was like, "Oh, Spider-Man's best friend, guys! Hey!" Like, get the heck out of here.
But you can't admit though, that part was funny when he called him and he was like, "You know what I want?" Because I was even kind of like, "What does he want, man?" Like he just said he'll swing you around for a week. What do you want? Like,
2 weeks. No, I was like, what
right. Then after he said that, he's like, "You know what I really want." I was like, "What does he?" Best friend. Right, you want to be a best friend? Like at first, I was like, "Man," because he tried to sell that damn book, Flashpoint. You know what I'm saying? Which sounds like a comic to me, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's ironic that is a DC storyline called Flashpoint.
I think they take shots at each other. Yeah.
Right.
I think they be taking shots at each other. Like I'm pretty sure they be doing deep dives on stuff that we don't even notice. You know what I'm saying? Like, or not even like the new Rockstar people notice. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm pretty sure like there's still a lot of bad blood between DC and Marvel. Like it's always gonna be a subtle jab here and there. But no, like I said, so like I said, I thought like I said, I thought Flash was, and I don't know, man, did they all blip or something? Because everybody looked different. I mean, but people grow up and stuff like that. But I mean, I was even thinking like, man, I'm not really sure who blipped or not because everybody looked like they got a little different look about themselves.
Yeah, I have to like think about it. I know a couple people did. I just can't remember offhand at the moment. Because I want to say, because I remember from Far From Home, there was one kid, it was a little Asian kid they used to roll with, Peter and them. But then you saw in that second movie, he grew up and he was like almost 20-something, and he was all big and swole.
He said he was Tobey Maguire in high school, right? He was like, he was doing that. He was doing that type of acting. But yeah, But no, because I was wondering what happened to the other love interest. Didn't he used to like the?
Remember, she went away after her father, Michael Keaton, aka Vulture, got caught. So her and her moms moved out from where New York.
Okay. Because I thought it was like, because I know we had MJ, but I remember he was digging somebody else even before. He used to even tell MJ about how he felt about Shorty, and I was like, damn, now she's just totally out the picture.
Yeah, she was like a one and done character, basically. And speaking of Michael Keaton, aka Vulture and such, I don't know if you pay attention to like some of the other movies that's happening. Like, for example, Morbius. He's a Spider-Man villain of sorts or whatever. And Jared Leto is playing Morbius. And then in that trailer, there's a brief appearance of Michael Keaton as Adrian Toomes. He's like,
oh, snap. Okay. I mess with Keaton.
He's like, Dr. Michael Morbius, huh? Let's keep in touch. I'm like, we know what's going to happen now. Yeah. So with all that about to happen, there was an announcement about maybe a week or so ago, a couple weeks ago, that Tom Holland is officially going to work on 3 more Spider-Man movies. Now, this is going to be guys of Sony, though. Because, Sony and Marvel still got that deal. But however, the way things are playing out between this Morbius movie that's about to drop, and then maybe after what we've seen from No Way Home or whatever, on how everything got put the way it did per the multiverse, we could see different variations of characters. Like, we could probably still get Venom, maybe a different iteration of Venom, though. Because even though, since this is spoiler alert time, Tom Hardy does appear in the mid-credit scene.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We talked about that. I saw that one. That was another one I didn't almost get either, though, because So he ended up coming to where they were at, but he was just at a resort instead of being, because he was he was present in the world that our Spider-Man lives in
Our
now.
Avengers
Because
world,
he
right?
was, yeah, right. Because he was talking to old boy about the Avengers, like, and the other
Right.
guys had never heard of the Avengers. So he got zapped there, but he just ended up being at a resort the whole time. That's what I didn't understand. Like he just went in, like you went to a new world and you was just like, man, this, I'm just gonna chill here or something, like, because everybody else found Peter Parker pretty well. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody
Yeah.
else found him like all at the same fucking time. To be honest, like I thought that was kind of you know what I'm saying? I
But
just don't like Sony, man. Sony, how you guys feel about the Venoms? I just watched the one recently. I saw the Carnage. And I really fuck with Woody Harrelson, man. I really like Woody Harrelson. I like the way he, like when he's in Hunger Games, whenever he's a featured actor, he always kind of bring an energy. But
War of the Planet of the Apes, when he was in that, he was a goon in that.
yeah, like I said, when he's a featured guy, he makes the most of his role. He's almost like a James Wood in Casino or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like he's on the screen for 15 minutes, but you remember how he got down. You know what I'm saying? Like you remember that. But I saw that Carnage, and well, I saw both vehicles, and I thought they were, you know, they were movies at best. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'll admit, the first Venom movie, I was adamant about not watching that much at first because it's like, how the hell are you gonna do a Venom movie without Spider-Man involved or any involvement? But then I finally just broke down and watched it up on cable or whatever. And I was like, all right, let me give it a shot. It wasn't half bad for what it was. It had, the aspects of Venom that I've read up upon in there. It's just still no Spider-Man involvement like that. The second movie, I did not bother to watch because I've heard just so much bad stuff. And I was like,
it's all
now,
real.
at the point, I was like, I don't care if anybody spoils it to me. And which somebody did, and I was just like, okay, that's all I need to know.
All right, D, what about you? I see you over there nodding your head when you said
that. I'm like you when you brought up, going back to the Morbius thing, when you brought up the whole him being, oh yeah, he's an anti-hero and also a villain to Spider-Man. But my thing is, like, I just realized, if I'm pretty sure you guys remember, but when Doctor Strange said that everybody who knows Spider-Man and Peter Parker came to their universe, how did Tom Hardy's Venom come through then? Because there is no Spider-Man in his universe. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Unless, now here's my theory. It could be, okay, like just right now too, I just saw that fans want more Andrew Garfield. After they saw him in this movie, they want more of him. I'm not sure if he's okay with it. I mean, he hasn't commented on that at all either. But after seeing him in this movie, they want to see a Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 3. So my theory is, what if Andrew Garfield is in Tom Hardy's Venom universe?
Oh, now that, man, you may have, hey, we may not want to. Hey, is this live? You may not want to put this out yet, man. We may want to hold on to that idea, man. That may, hey, you may have made a connected dot that could give it some velocity, though. I mean, some validity. I'm sorry, velocity.
That's the only thing that makes sense. I mean, because Doctor Strange did say whoever knows Spider-Man and Peter Parker go in their universe. So like, it just came up right now. Like, how the fuck did Tom Hardy go through then if he doesn't really know him? But what if there is a Spider-Man in his universe, but he doesn't know it yet? And going a little bit on forward to back to the Morbius a little bit. Still don't know why there's a Sam Raimi Spider-Man poster in the trailer. I'm not sure if you peeped that in the background. There's a poster with Sam Raimi Spider-Man in the background saying murderer. So who knows what that's all about? Nobody's figured out what's up with that either. Nobody knows what universe Morbius is in either. People are saying how he's in Amazing Spider-Man's universe and also Tom Holland's, because obviously Adrian Toomes is in there. Here's another theory of mine. I got a bunch of theories. Multiverse of Madness, right? I have a feeling, obviously that ties in with the whole Spider-Man messing up the spell, and the multiverse is all messed up now because he tampered with it. So pretty much, I have a feeling that for now, after that movie, Multiverse of Madness, I think the multiverse is gonna mess up even more, and probably gonna bring in Morbius, and that's when Morbius comes in, or even Tom Hardy's Venom. Because if you think about it, I mean, if they're planning on making a Tom Hardy Venom with Tom Holland, how are they going to do it if technically Tom Holland is in the MCU's version and Tom Hardy went back to his universe? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Right.
So that's why I'm a little bit confused on what they're planning, but it's sketchy. But I don't know. I just can't wait and see.
Okay,
That-
you watched
But
Venom, right? You saw Venom.
yeah,
D,
I
you saw
saw.
Venom, right? Now,
Yeah.
wasn't there a part in there before the when they were at the you said we can spoil it for you. So when he had his feet in the sand, and then they go back to that hotel room and see something about Spider-Man on TV. So
Yeah.
his universe does have a Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't remember what it was, but you remember when they woke up in that hotel room, he was like, the Peter Parker dude, because he's in that universe already.
No, that actually happened after he cast that spell. After he cast that spell, he teleported into the same. I guess you would say. Yeah, and
Okay,
then
I
that's when
got you
it was
now.
at that
Because
moment
he came
popped
back
up in
after
that
the
moment.
blip, right?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
So he basically
Man,
teleported
good
into
thing.
the
Yeah,
universe.
I was finna run with it. I was about to run with it. I was gonna be like, wait a minute, they are in the same universes already. Like, but no, you're right. When he didn't see it till after he came back, because he had his feet in the sand. Then when the blip,
Yep.
then so by that time he could have been already pulling. He could have blipped back into that world just off GP. You're like, okay,
Yeah.
all
But
right.
And also,
Venom. Oh, I'm sorry. What were you saying, Johnson?
no, I was just gonna say to kind of piggyback with what you're saying with that. The overall rumor plan is that Tom Holland is pretty much committing the 9 Spider-Man movies. We already got our first trilogy with him being in high school and such, and this and that.
Oh my goodness, nah.
These next 3 are supposed to be, his trials and tribulations of Spider-Man, what him doing college. Because we all know, especially back in the day in Spider-Man, he was going to Empire State University. So he's gonna
look at that pool he pulled out right there. You see he pulled that out just to let people know he knew what he was talking about. Empire University. So
yes, sir.
That's good. Let people know you know what you're doing here. Let them know.
The last three Spider-Man movies, the third trilogy, I should say, of Spider-Man movies involving Tom Holland, is supposed to be him being Spider-Man as an adult.
Yeah.
So this is the overall plan that Sony has going on, and maybe
Sony can't make the movies.
Marvel being involved too.
Yeah, I was say they got to put some Marvel. They got to put that Marvel dust on it. Put that Marvel
out yet, so
I mean,
I'd be all Sony all the time.
Not gonna lie, I mean, if they put if both companies put away their differences, I mean, obviously they can't because they're big companies. But if they for this one character, this is money. This guy is money. Spider-Man is fucking money right now, dude.
Yeah, this weekend box office is crazy.
Here's the thing with Tom Holland. You said that he already agreed on 3 movies, right? I've been hearing that he wants to take a break from acting and start a family and all that. And I don't blame him. Go ahead. He's 24. He's young. Go ahead, dude. But at the same time, like, why would you give that up? Like, I don't know. I wouldn't. I mean, I'm a diehard fan of Spider-Man. If I had the acting abilities like Tom Holland, and if I was fit as him, I would totally grind it the fuck out until I become old like Toby. You know. And
like Toby.
I'm confused on what this man wants to do. He's making an Uncharted movie, and that movie already looks like it's gonna flop. It's gonna flop. The game is good, but the movie, no.
Right.
I don't know what he wants to do. And then also, way before this movie was, the trailer even came out for No Way Home. He was talking about how he doesn't really want to do Spider-Man anymore because he doesn't want to be recognized for that character. And I was like,
that's what I was
you're messing up, buddy.
You want to know the funny part about that though is?
What's up?
Henry Cavill almost said the same thing, but with him getting the praise and reception that he got for the Zack Snyder rendition of Justice League,
he wants to do it again.
Praise Superman. He's like, I wouldn't mind coming back to Superman. The problem is though, Warner Bros. is like, okay, this ship sailed. We tried. We gave Zack Snyder what he wanted. We're gonna go somewhere else with Superman. Unfortunately,
Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, that's possibly could.
I want to see that. I want to see Michael B. Jordan as Spider-Man. I mean Spider-Man, Superman. I'm sorry,
Superman. Yeah,
Superman.
He's supposed to be there.
God.
Yeah. All right, let me ask you guys this though. I thought something I thought was kind of interesting. I know
Okay.
it's it's a movie. What do you guys think about them putting that shield on the Statue of Liberty? I thought it was a bit much. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought
Yeah,
it was kind of
yeah, that
like
was overkill.
like
I ain't
like,
gonna lie.
like I was kind of like like I know I get it. You know what I'm saying? But like I
Mhm.
don't know. If that was the move. Like I thought it was, but
I
I
think
always thought it was interesting. I'm sorry.
I thought it was kind of off putting too, especially since that aspect of remembering Steve Rogers, aka Cap, was kind of established with Falcon and Winter Soldier, the series, which
Right.
they is still about to dig back into with Captain America 4. So I mean, I know Cap meant a little something to Spider-Man also, but at the same time too, that was just like that overall fan service type thing. Like, hey, we're gonna put this shield up because Cap fought alongside Spidey too, along with
So they
Tony Stark.
referenced it in Hawkeye, I think, right? I think
Yeah,
somebody say something about that in Hawkeye. Even I think they even be like,
mm,
"Hey, the Statue of Liberty got a shield now." It's like,
right.
Yeah.
man, that's a big sale. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought it was pretty cool that he had the Hamilton play. You know what I'm saying? Like I was
Right,
kind of in
right.
my head, I was kind of like, I don't know if I pay to go see it, but I watch it online. You know what I'm saying? Like I may pay $5.99 on streaming or something like that. I'm not gonna get up and go to the theater and go see something about Rogers. But I would probably go watch it because it seemed like it had its little moments. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, that was a. What about you, D? What about you? How did you feel about seeing that Statue
Um,
of Liberty?
like I said, like Chauncey said, it was a little bit too much. I actually like watching it. Like I was ever since I started into this theory stuff. I've been like really criticizing movies like a critic. I've been like paying attention to details and everything.
Right.
So I've grown into that type of viewer. And I forgot what scene it was, but there was a scene where I think it was during like the beginning of everybody finding out that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. You over here on the radio, they're talking about the Statue of Liberty, or I think it was J. Jonah Jameson's
Yeah,
broadcast that they were talking about it, and they were basically getting people's
that
opinions
was
on
it.
it,
Oh yeah, they
and
had the call-ins.
Mhm.
people weren't really agreeing to it. They didn't really like it, and I was like, this is a little bit of foreshadowing there, right there. Think about it, because they're gonna fight at the Statue of Liberty.
That's a good
And I
point. That's a
really
good point.
liked I really liked the end when obviously he shoots. I mean, Green Goblin destroys the shield,
Yeah,
and it comes down, and then if you pay attention, they actually like it's pretty obvious. I mean, they put the camera, they pan it to the Statue of Liberty uh without Captain America's shield on there. And
Right.
I have a feeling that's gonna like signify the fact that this is Tom Holland's home. This is Spider-Man's home. This is not nobody else's. He's
right,
gonna
Yeah, I
take
like
care
that.
of his home.
right.
This is not whatchamacallit. It's not Captain America's. Well, obviously he was born in New York and was
Mhm.
it Brooklyn, right?
Brooklyn,
Right. Yeah,
yeah,
Brooklyn,
Brooklyn.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, yeah, he's from there, but it's Spider-Man's time now. It's his home.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like a represent. How you say it? Like a
Like a passing the torch almost.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah,
like.
yeah, yeah.
And
Like
plus, it's
it was
also
better off.
Daredevil home.
It was it was better off the way it was in the very beginning without Captain America. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was something like that. But yeah, it was a little over the top. I didn't really like it, but I'm glad what they did
well,
with it
Well, I'll
towards the
tell you
end.
right now, man, you guys seem like you know what I'm saying, like your knowledge and your cause I'm still a novice, you know what I'm saying? Like I do the new Rockstar Screen Crush, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like most of my comic input, like even when I watch the panels now on Comics Explained or
Right.
even this guy named Danny Might, you know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
Mhm.
cause he showed me about the boys because I didn't know what the boys was until I watched this 15 volume breakdown. I was like, man, this is a good man, this is like I felt like the people who was watching Game of Thrones, like the book is better. You know what I'm saying? Like I was
Yeah.
looking at boys, like I'm like, hey, man, this book is pretty good, man. Like this is even I don't know how the show is going to do with this and stuff like that. But I mean, you guys' knowledge about the thing, and I don't know how like I know you just getting your feet back in the water, Chauncey. But I mean, like, even if we get into something where we just like revisit something, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, for sure.
between this whole Marvels, you know what I'm saying, like getting to the ethos of some of this stuff. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like if you even want to have some of the things you guys are fans of, put me up on that could even help mine. Because like I said, most of mine is it's brand new. You know what I'm saying? Like in my head, a part of me is kind of like, man, they got so much source material. No wonder Marvel talking about they got 21 movies in production or in some kind of post production or something, because the source material is, even this guy Spider-Man. Even before we started today, I even looked it up because I was kind of like, what is my origin for Spider-Man? But I was like, man, this guy been rocking since the 60s. You know what I'm saying? Like he got, like he got stories, and and that was even when back in the day when they were like, a character was just what it was. Like now you have so many different incarnations of them. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody may do just a 1 series run, somebody may do a 3 series run. You know what I'm saying? Like, but back then it was almost like, like, oh, it was almost like a TV show. You roll with that person from one end to the other. You know what I'm saying? Like, but now it's almost like everything's miniseries or kind of like soap operas almost. You know what I'm saying? Like every like I know like with this Hawkeye that we're watching right now, that Matt something. I can't think of who the guy who wrote it, but his Hawkeye is what they're basing it on. Yeah, Matt. So I got a chance to see something on YouTube where somebody broke down like the first 4 volumes of that whole thing, and I was like, man, this TV show got a lot of legs it can move on, man, because they had a nice little run too. You know what I'm saying? But basically, what I'm just saying is like the source material is there, that is almost like a cheat code. You know what I'm saying? Like it's almost like a cheat code. So part of me is kind of like, I'm up here trying to think of original ideas. You got a backlog of ideas, especially not even counting on what you can add now with just the new thinking we got going on. You know what I'm saying? Because from what I understand, some of the MCU done crossed over so much on the comic books that the comics look like the characters from the MCU now. You know what I'm saying? Like Guardians of the Galaxy look like more so like what we know from the movies than what even was the Guardians of the Galaxy in the early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? So. Basically, the point I'm just trying to make is like, if we ever, if you're interested in doing something where, you're doing deeper dives in the different lanes and stuff like that. And like I said, I'll be in here like that brand new guy, maybe asking all the questions, being like the audience. You guys can take it for where you need to go from there. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, this is a blast, but I do got to go watch that football game to watch those Bears lose.
I was But I thank you fellas for joining me on this. This is a great blast talking about this awesome little movie here. And it's gonna make game busters, and pretty much you might as well just say it's best superhero movie of 2021. But right before we wrap it up, if you want to tell folks where they can reach you or see you at, shout out your stuff, see what you got.
Well, I don't know if it's connected here, but like I said, I'm back out here doing these jokes. I'm on Instagram, Danny B. Weatherby. That's me right there. Just hitting open mics. Thursdays, Mondays, I'm on the north side. If you follow me there, I'll let you know what I'm hitting up. 2022, I'm also on Twitter. I'm gonna get more active. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, I got something floating about like I don't think Joe Jackson the type of dad that you want to tell his wife is kissing anybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying because Michael Jackson is telling everybody he saw Mama kissing Santa Claus, and Joe Jackson don't seem like he take that type of shit. He ain't just, rest of R.I.P. You know what I'm saying? Respect the man. I don't want to. Right. He just don't seem like you should have told him that type of stuff. He looked like he could have got down. But if you want to hear ideas like that and my thought process and how I get down, that's where I'm at. I'm on Instagram and Twitter. Man, Chance, like I said, it was a good time. D, I see you're knowledgeable, and plus I like your youthfulness too. You know what I'm saying? Because you're hitting us, hitting us with from your perspective, and you know what I'm saying, ain't trying funny, being around young people don't do nothing but keep you younger, keep your mind sharp and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because me and Chauncey get together, next all we talking about the 90s. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, God damn, man, that was 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? We ain't living, keep us in the present. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like keep us in the present. So I'm all for that, man. D, it was a pleasure meeting you. But yeah, that's all I'm selling.
All right. What about you, Diego?
Well, pretty much I live stream on Twitch. I have a TikTok and Instagram. If you want to follow me on there, I got my Twitch is core__gaming. If you want to follow me on there, I pretty much stream everything, whatever you want. Comment, I'll stream it. And then TikTok XO_Dieg. Pretty much post highlights on my Twitch, anything goofy. But yeah, Chauncey, it was an honor. Danny, it was nice meeting you. I hope we can do this again. Like
absolutely.
I got so many movies I want to talk about.
bro.
Hey, we can do something like the rewatchables. You know what I'm saying? I know that's the name of a podcast. I don't want to steal the name, but we can go back. Hey, like I said, if you guys and like I said, I'll come with the brand new eyes, and then you guys can even put me on because that's what I do after I saw that movie today on the way home. I was listening to YouTube. Like, come on, new Rockstar, give me some. Trying to understand this for me. You know what I'm saying? Because
me and you work every other day, so let me know. We can make something happen for future.
Right. And like I said, hey, I'm all for it. And like another cheat code I got too. I got it from a friend of mine, man. I've been watching the Marvel movies, rewatching them, but now I watch it with the description titles too. You know what I'm saying? Like when the people describe everything that's going on, just in case you're. Right. And then sometimes they even tell you about who people was in the scene that you didn't even know. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew that was old boy from Hawkeye when he first got his legs swept by the kid. You know, they were like, "Oh, that's Kazi," and I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "Okay, that name, I should know that." And, it was, when I watched it without the subtitle, I was just like, "Okay, that's one kid getting beat." You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what's the girl gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't think the kid was nobody important. You know what I'm saying? But I've done Shang-Chi like that now and that put me up on a couple of extra things. Like, I even know what the damn animal's name is, the thing that look like big puppies and stuff like that.
Right.
I can't think of it right now, but I heard it and I was like, oh, I'm familiar with it. So like I said, I know I'm late to the party, but man, like I said, well, they ain't going nowhere, man. They got too much source material. You know what I'm saying? They got why not run with it? Yeah, why not run with it?
Yeah. Well, yo, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Brothers, thank you again for joining me. And
yes, sir.
Folks who did watch us tonight, I thank you, appreciate you, much love. I'm back up in the saddle in this piece. You can check me out on Chauncey Chat Live via Instagram. You can check me out on the Facebook group page. You can check me up on here on YouTube. We'll be coming up with more episodes in the upcoming weeks. I will be making my announcements, so stay tuned. But other than that, you all enjoy your Monday night. Catch up with that football game along with Danny. But stay safe out here in this piece. 2 finger salute. We out.
Peace.